Well, the old wives' tale goes, it's okay to run tubulars as long as you've got a team car to follow you around. Well, it's not quite that bad. And today I'm going to show you how you can fold a tubular so it fits in your jersey pocket. And also, I'm going to show you how you can actually just take some sealant and a couple of tools, and in most cases that'll fix your punctures on your tubulars. So let's roll that intro and let's have a look at how you fix tubulars on the side of the road. Now here we have a tubular tyre, and as you can see they're completely sewn up, so you can't get access to the tube inside the tyre. So people go, well, how do you fix them then when you're on the side of the road, because you can't take the tube out, you can't replace it, and also they're stuck on. And I like to use something like this, which is called a tubular tape, or you can use contact cement or proprietary glues that stick these tyres onto the rim. Now, because a tubular tyre is stuck to the rim, that's actually why the pros like them, because when you get a flat, the tyre doesn't separate from the rim, it's stuck on with glue or tape. Now the pros use the contact cement, and that is actually supposed to be the premium way of fitting a tubular. So when the tyre collapses, you're not on the rim, you actually still got the tyre on the rim even though it is flat, and you can control the bicycle and bring it to a stop, or actually ride on it for some distance, albeit at a slower speed. And that's why the pros are reluctant to go away from them, and why Victoria are trying to develop a system where there's like a foam insert that still will allow them to ride for some distance on a clincher or tubeless tyre. So now you've got your flat, you've got a little double dew in there, and your tyre's gone down, and you're on the side of the road and you go, what am I going to do to fix my tubular? Well, the first thing you can use, or your first line of attack, is that you have a valve key, and you use that valve key to take the valve out, and then you just need a little bit of silicone tubing you can buy from your local hardware store, and one of these little Stan's bottles that has sealant in them, and you can just fill the tyre up with this sealant, put the valve back in and use your little valve key to tighten it up, and then you just pump it back up and you spin it just like you would if you had a tubeless tyre. And that, in most cases, in 90%, almost 100%, that'll fix your tyre, especially if it's from a puncture. If it's a cut, it's the same with a tubeless, you won't be able to fix it. So most of the flats you get, which are derived from some kind of sharp object sticking into your tyre and giving you a flat, you can fix your tubular just with a small little tube and your sealant container, a little small sealant container, and a little valve key, which are very, very small to carry with you when you go for a ride. Now, the other method to fixing a tubular on the side of the road is to actually take a whole complete tyre, which is like this here. And now you're probably thinking, how do you fit something that big on your bike, nice and neat, ready if you have a flat? Well, there is a way, and you can fold this tyre up into a very small package about this big that either fits in your jersey pocket, and in the old days they used to strap it underneath their seat with a little leather belt to hold it in place, so then you've got a spare tyre, because clinchers were not really the main system that was used years ago. Now I'm going to show you how we actually fold that tyre up so you can actually put it into a tube repair container that fits in your drink bottle. Also, you can fit it into your jersey pocket. Now, before we fold up the tubular tyre into this small package, if you're actually using contact cement or the proprietary glue from the manufacturers, you need to pre-glue your tubular. So when you put it on, it actually has some adhesion onto the actual rim where you take the flatted tyre off the rim. So you would do that first, but I'm not going to show that here because I don't use the glue anymore, because you can end up like Spider-Man. I used to use it years ago. But some people are still diehards and like to use the glue. But if you're going to use glue, you need to pre-glue the tubular and put your glue onto the tyre before you fold it. So once you've prepared your tyre with your contact cement or glue that you've put on, or you're going to use tape so you don't need to glue it, then the second thing you need to do is get all of this excess air out of the tyre. So what you do is you go to the valve and you use a little valve key, and then you remove the valve completely. So there's a huge big hole there where the valve stem is, because the valve's not in anymore. Then what you do is you go to the opposite end of the tyre from the valve, right here, and then you start rolling it like a little snail, and you roll it as tight as you possibly can. We're getting almost there, about halfway, and as you can see, it's nice and tight. And when you get to the end, you just try and make sure that all of the air's out. Sometimes the tube gets pinched, and you just get it, and then you've got that little valve sticking out. Now we put the valve back in. You put the valve back into the little hole right there like that, and then I get my valve key and I tighten it up on the valve stem, and then I make sure my pressure valve is fully all the way in so no air can get back in the tyre. And then when I release it, it's nice and slim and fat, and the air inside has been removed. Now once you've got the air out, you want to do the folding part of the job. Now the beauty in this technique is if you put contact cement on it, it makes the contact sides stick together. So first of all, you stretch it out full length like this, and then you get your one hand and you pull it to the other hand, and you hold them side by side like that, and then you pull the other end so it's tight as you can like that. Right, so there we go. We've got it in half distance, and then you make the surfaces of the contact cement stick together. So you put them on top of each other, nice and neat, like as if they're in two rails like this, and press them together so the contact cement's holding it all together. And then you want to start folding it into thirds. So as you do that, you do it like this, fold it to thirds like that, a little bit less than half because you have to allow for the turn, and then you fold it up again. I've done it too little, so let's give it another go. And then once I've got that there like that, hold that tight. And I've got some lackeys here to give me a hand, so I'll put the lackeys on. There's one on, and then I can fold it again, and then we've got a nice little package here. And then put another lackey on it to hold it all together. Now you can also use some sort of sock or something like that to get it tighter. And if you get some really big powerful lackey bands, you can get it really tight and compress it in so it's held together. So there you go. Now this is quite small, as you can see. Now this can fit in your jersey pocket quite easily. Now I haven't done a very good job. You can make this a little bit neater, and it will also fit in a lot of those tube holders that you fit in your drink bottle section, so it keeps it nice and clean and nice and neat. Or you can do the old school thing and strap this underneath your seat. Although it does look a little bit ugly if you like that Instagram look on your bike. So you just need to take a few number of things. You can go for the sealant with the little plastic tube. That makes it easier just to get the sealant in, and your little valve key, so you can put that sealant in easily. You don't need to try and squeeze it through the Presto valve. Or you can have the tyre, or you can take all, which is what I do. I have myself covered. But very rarely do I need to pull this tyre out. It's years before I get these out. And so the sealant works pretty well. So if you wanted to take the risk, and on that odd occasion you wanted to just ring a friend or get the Uber, then you can just take some sealant and a tube and a little key. You don't need to have any type of tyre levers or anything like that with tubulars. You just need your hands. You just work it off the rim, and you can pull it off, and you just stretch it on. There's no need to have those sorts of extra tools that you need with clinchers. They're specifically for clinchers. With tubulars, no need for that sort of stuff. So this sort of stuff here, you could actually get away with just a bottle, a tube, and a little valve key if you really wanted to, if you're that sort of person. Well, anyway, that's where I'm going to leave it. And thanks for watching. Remember to ring that bell up here. And I'll see you next vid, guys.